What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Doom the Dark Ages video. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over all of your early upgrades that I would highly recommend to get you started off in Doom the Dark Ages. And this will pretty much get you set up for the early stages of the game all the way up to about the mid-game, and just pretty much helping you out survive and, ripping and tearing through the battlefields of demons. And that way you'll have a much easier time with your upgrades, and you can spend your gold and your rubies and your wraithstones more efficiently to get the best upgrades as early as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the very first weapon that you're going to start off with is the combat shotgun, and you'll want to upgrade your weapons at a Sentinel Shrine. Now the very first upgrade that you'll have available to you which is available with gold, is Incendiary. What Incendiary does, it deals enough damage to a demon with combat shotgun, which applies burn, and enemies that are burnt will drop armor drops. Then you have your secondary option, which is a dual upgrade option. You have Smelt, which drops more armor pickups, which is what I would highly recommend. But you also have Blast 2, which enemies explode while they are burnt, and they also apply the burn on other demons when they do explode. But for survivability purposes, especially fighting on higher levels and on higher difficulties, you want to go with Smelt. Now the next dual upgrade that you want to focus on is your Ruby upgrade, and your Ruby upgrade, in my opinion, should be Tune-Up. Now Tune-Up pretty much turns your shotgun into a 3-round burst, and then there's also Flare-Up, which instantly applies burn. But in this case, if you have Tune-Up and you're fighting a medium-sized demon like your Cacodemons, your Hell Knights, and your Mancubuses, your first 3-round burst, it will apply the burn instantly, and it'll also instantly kill the fodder demons. And then last but not least, your final upgrade, which is what you'll use your Wraithstones, is Eat This. Now this pretty much just enhances your shotgun to the max, which applies more pellets, which means more damage, and also gives you a nice challenge to use for the shotgun as well. Now, one of the second weapons that you'll be able to pick up is your Shredder. Now, this is basically your machine gun in this game, so this pretty much replaces the machine gun or auto gun or the assault rifles that you got in Doom and Doom Eternal. So in this game, it's called the Shredder. Now, the Shredder can deal some pretty awesome damage, especially with the right upgrades. Now the first upgrade that you are going to get with the Shredder is called Ricochet. Now what this does is you throw the shield on a medium-sized demon, and as they are affected by the shield, you can shoot the shield and it'll bounce bullets off of the shield and deal damage to nearby demons. Then the next upgrade, which will be your Ruby upgrade, will be No Frills, which pretty much just increases your rate of fire of the gun, which means more projectiles while they're stunned. And then the final upgrade, which is your Wraithstone upgrade, is Barbed, which pretty much enhances the damage of both Ricochet and Pincushion, which Pincushion is the other upgrade you can get in the first slot, which pretty much glows an enemy when you apply enough damage, and then while they're glowing, you can throw your shield and it'll do a small explosion around them. But in my opinion, I feel like Ricochet is better because you can stun the enemies, especially the bigger demons, and then you can shoot them and also kill the fodder demons that are around them or around you. So in my opinion, Ricochet is the best way to go. Now the next weapon I want to talk about is the Rocket Launcher. Now the very first upgrade you get is Cannibalism. Now what this does is after a successful parry, you can inflict self-damage upon yourself, which now heals you. So with the Rocket Launcher, if you stand too close, it'll damage you, but with Cannibalism, that now splash damage will heal you. And this goes on to my second upgrade, which is your Ruby upgrade, and that will be Blood Sacrifice. Now what this does is increases the splash damage and also increases the self-damage upon yourself. So with Cannibalism equipped after a successful parry, and Blood Sacrifice, meaning you'll heal for more heals. And then the final upgrade, which is your Wraithstone upgrade, which is Bloodlust, which extends the duration of the Cannibalism meter. So that way you can just sit there and just shoot rockets, and that way you can just heal yourself pretty much all the way, especially if you're fighting a higher level demon. Now let's talk about the next upgrade, which will be your Shield. Now the Shield is the bread and butter of Doom the Dark Ages combat. So in this game, the first upgrade that you want to get is a Retaliation, which every parry will increase the shockwave, which means that it'll stun demons even more. And you'll know that they'll be stunned because it does that slow time effect, and they'll have a yellowish reticle around their head, meaning that they have been stunned. So Retaliation, you want to focus on parrying almost every single attack. Parrying is the name of the game in Doom the Dark Ages, and this will help you out tremendously, especially in bigger fights. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is the second melee weapon that you get in the game, and that is the Flail. Now the Flail I pretty much used all the way up until the end game, until you get to the other weapon, but for mid to early game, the Flail is absolutely awesome. So the first upgrade is Conditioning, which lowers the reduced time for when you have a melee charge. So this will be great in the middle of combat, so that way you can have more melee charges. And then the second upgrade is Ignite, which of course ignites enemies and scorches them, and they also drop armor, which pairs well with our combat shotgun, which also drops armor as well. So if you're igniting enemies with the shotgun and the Flail, then you just have a pile of armor drops that you can, have at your disposal. And again, this will greatly enhance your survivability, especially in those higher levels. And my final tip for you guys is to upgrade your shield as much as possible. Get all of those upgrades as soon as you can, because once you get to the final upgrade, it'll help you out tremendously, especially before you start getting into runes. Then you'll have stuff like Power Surge, where you can bounce off of energy shields, Extended Edge, which allows you to reach against fodder demons, and then you have Steadfast, Harvester, and now Blade Master. And once you get to Blade Master, you can stun enemies for a lot longer, which also helps with our Ricochet, with our Shredder, and all sorts of different combos. So whatever playstyle that you like to go with, the shield is going to be your mainstay, so upgrade that as soon as possible, so that way you can be ready once you get the runes, which I would say is more an advanced tip, because you get the runes later in the game, so we can talk about that in another video. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you found this video helpful and informative, especially for anybody that is brand new to Doom and is playing Doom the Dark Ages for the first time. I hope this video found you well. And anybody that is a veteran that has played Doom 2016 and or Doom Eternal, then please feel free to leave any more tips and tricks that I may have missed, or anything that you would suggest down in the comments below, and connect as a gaming community. If you want to connect even deeper, guys, make sure to check out the links down in the description below. If you want to join our Discord and be part of our Lost Days Gaming Discord family, we'd love to have you and talk about all sorts of games. Since we are a variety channel, we got you covered with any tips and tricks and guides to help you enjoy your favorite games. That's going to be it from us, guys. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.